feel like an adult. I feel like a real woman now. Marriage is one of the most sanctifying things that you could experience in life, and it just like completely changes your heart on things that you were like, you didn't even realize you were stubborn about. They asked me if we were trying to have kids right away. God's obviously planning something. I really don't know what he sees in me that I can't see in myself. So we're in the very beginning and I'm already like, oh gosh. Wow, y'all are pretty like up close and personal today because I don't have a lot of room in this room right now. Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Let's welcome married Jess to this channel. Okay, yeah, that's awkward. For today's video, I am going to be catching up with you guys and doing a little girl talk, which I've never really done on my channel because I don't really talk about, I don't know, personal girl talk things. So yeah, today I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about what's been going on in my life. It has been forever. Yeah, welcome back to this channel, and honestly I should be welcoming myself back because it has been so long since I've filmed anything. But yeah, there's been a lot going on, so just to like talk a little bit about what's been going on. I've been wedding planning. As you guys know, I've been engaged for the past I was engaged for the past year and a half or so. And then I finally got married about a month ago, which is so exciting. So yay. I've been wedding planning, I was moving, so I'll talk a little bit about our moving process and moving into an apartment together for the first time. And I was struggling a little bit with like work-life balance and just things in general, like training our puppy. It's been kind of hard to film considering he tries to chew on everything that is in his path. So yeah, I just kind of fell off, and that's fine. I'm ready to enter my channel again in this new chapter of my life, which is so exciting. So I'm just going to be talking about some things that have been going on. Just for like the future of my channel, I'm going to be making a few videos about like negative work culture and, you know, how work-life balance can be like mentally challenging sometimes, especially if you're dealing with like a toxic work environment or struggling to set boundaries. So I'm gonna go a little bit into that in future videos if you guys want me to, so leave a comment down below if you're interested in hearing me talk a little bit more about like work culture and things like that, and you know, the corporate life and how it's a struggle sometimes. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the wedding. Mostly those conversations are gonna happen on our joint channel, so me and Josh started a channel together. I will link that in the cards, so check that out. Yeah, subscribe to that channel if you want to see more of our lives together as a couple. I'll be talking a little bit later about the differences between our two channels and why we decided to start a joint channel instead of just having the one. He's like playing with his treat right now. That's so funny. And yeah, I'll be talking a lot about joint finances on this channel and the way that we're combining our budgets, combining our income, and what that's gonna look like for us. So kind of just like the couple things and my side of managing that, like the wife life or whatever. Maybe I'll start a series called The Wife Life or something like that, but we'll see. So yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about like getting married and what that process was like, and you know, hopefully that'll explain why I've been so like, you know, AWOL on this channel. It was like severely time consuming, like aggressively time consuming. Even though we were engaged for a year and a half, we only planned the wedding in like 4 months, and we were like actively planning for like 3 of those months. So we booked the venue, and then for that whole next month, we were really focused on, don't bite that, don't bite that, go get your treat. There you go. Good boy. Very good boy. Okay. Anyway, the reason why we took so long to plan the wedding is because we had some difficulty. I don't want to say difficulty, but like we had to make some tough decisions about where to have the wedding, considering all of our family lives in a different state. Oh gosh, don't bite that. No, don't bite that. See, this is why I have trouble recording videos. Anyway, we had to like take the time to decide where we were going to have the wedding, whether it was going to be closer to our hometowns in New Jersey or if we were going to have it here in North Carolina now that we both live here. And in the end we decided to have it in North Carolina and had our family fly out for it, which we could talk a little bit more on our joint channel about, and like how we made that decision and why we made that decision. But basically like a lot of our friendships had changed, not in a bad way, but like just we made a lot of friends here. And not only that, it would be so much easier for us because everything that we DIY'd and like all of our attire and stuff was already here, so we didn't have to like fly with all our stuff or like ship stuff there. But we could talk more about like our decision making process on our channel if you guys are interested in that. So again, like comment down below if you want more details on anything I'm talking about. But it was like really time consuming once we actually started planning because we had such a short period of time. And once we found the venue, we actually had another wedding that Josh was gonna be in. So he had a lot of groomsmen duties or whatever for, he's knocking over the camera, for that wedding. So, do you have to sit on the tripod? Okay. The plant is moving because of the fan, baby. Good boy. It's not moving on its own, don't worry. He's like staring at the plant because the fan's on and it's moving the plant. But anyway, it was really time consuming. There was like a lot that needed to get done in like a very short period of time. Not only that, it was like mentally taxing because it was always on my mind. Like there were always things that needed to be done and I was like constantly thinking about it even when I wasn't thinking about it. So yeah. It was also like very emotional, and I realized there were like, it brought up like a lot of feelings from the past, not like from the past, but like just a lot of like worries from the past and like people that I thought would be disappointed. I don't know, just like all of those relationship complexities kind of came out in this process. But I mean, it was also fun, and I really enjoyed DIYing things with Josh, and we realized that like the two of us together have a lot of creative potential, and it was just a lot of fun to like make things together. We like handmade all of our invitations together, which was a really fun process. I like really enjoyed making those invitations with him and just like coming up with the design and using like my Cricut and other things to like create this and having him be involved, because I know that a lot of grooms are not very involved in the wedding planning process, but Josh was like really involved, which was really helpful for me, and it was just like fun. So it was like we learned what it was like to plan something together. But anyway, how does it feel to be done, and like was I antsy after the wedding? I heard a lot of people, because they were so busy before the wedding, after the wedding they felt kind of like weird about all their free time and like stir crazy a little bit. And that didn't actually happen for us. So what happened was he moved the week before the wedding because his lease was ending, and then the wedding happened, and then I moved the weekend after the wedding. So there was like always stuff to unpack and always stuff to do. So honestly, we just started settling in like a week ago, and even so, like there's, you're messing with the tripod. Even so, there's still things that we need to do that we're kind of just putting off. So yeah, that didn't really happen for me. A lot of people have also asked me how moving in together was and how living together has been, and like splitting up the space and combining our things and all that. So just to like talk a little bit about that, the move itself wasn't too bad because we actually had a lot of friends to help us for both of our moves. So his move, he had 2 friends helping, and then my move, I had 4 friends helping because my move was a little more complex because I had more furniture. Honestly, it wasn't bad, but packing was really difficult. The move itself was simple because all of our friends were helping, but packing, we did a horrible job packing both our apartments because we were so busy doing things for the wedding, and then I was coming back from the honeymoon, so like I didn't pack before the wedding because my family actually stayed in my apartment, so there was like no time to pack. So yeah, I really didn't pack well, and I'm still dealing with boxes that just have miscellaneous things in them that belong in all different rooms and different categories of things, which is so frustrating. That's how the move went. Living together has been pretty easy. I think we like fell into our roles really well, and if you guys want a video either on this channel or on our joint channel about our roles in the relationship and in the household and how we split up work and chores and responsibilities and stuff like that, either leave a comment down below or go check out our channel and comment on one of those videos, because I would love to talk a little bit about like the way that we've organized things, because it's a little bit unconventional. But yeah, I think we fell into that pretty easily. Living together hasn't been that difficult. I think we're both understanding a lot more about each other just based on how we choose to live and like our habits and stuff. So that's been really nice. Splitting up the space wasn't that bad because we honestly have so much closet space in this apartment. And if you guys go on our joint channel and check out our empty apartment tour that just went up, that shows all of the closet space that we have, and honestly we have a ton. Like, I wasn't worried about like storage or anything like that. We basically live in a 2-bed, 1-bath, and the second bedroom is our guest bedroom when guests stay in here, but otherwise it's our office, which is what I'm in right now. Our office slash hobby room. Josh likes to call it the hobby room, but I call it my office because I work from home in here. So it allows me to keep all of our stuff that we're not using in our bedroom in a different room. So like all of our hobby materials, like all of my knitting stuff and my Cricut and my sewing machine, which I just bought. Yeah, I'm so excited about this because I've never had a sewing machine, and I just feel like an adult. I feel like a real woman now because I have a sewing machine, and like all of our computer equipment, and eventually we want to build a PC and we'll do that in here. So all of that gets to stay in here. So splitting up the space wasn't necessarily difficult. The bathroom though was a little bit difficult because there's not a lot of storage in the bathroom and we both have a lot of things. But luckily, again, if you guys check out that video, I have like a second vanity in the apartment. That vanity holds most of like my makeup and other things, which I don't use that often anyway. Like, I don't really wear makeup on the daily, but I have all my makeup there, all of my hair product and whatever, and that's all like on my vanity, so it's not mixed in with like the bathroom daily stuff that we use. So yeah, check out that video because honestly it will help you guys understand a little bit more about our space and how we're doing it, and eventually once everything's put together we'll do like a full apartment tour, but we haven't done that yet. A lot of people asked about like combining our things as well because we both live separately. So like he lived in his own apartment and I lived with my roommate in a different apartment. We both have duplicates of most things, so combining our things was a little bit difficult because like I didn't want to get rid of that much because we both spent money on it. So we were like trying to figure out which one was best, and like, can we donate this, or is it stuff that needs to be thrown out? Like, it was a little bit complicated combining our things, and right now we are like cluttered. We like have too much of everything and not enough of the other things that we need. It's so funny. Like, there's some things we both just did not have, and then other things that like we just have so many duplicates of. Anyway, moving on to our honeymoon. All of that content will actually be on our joint channel, so check that out. Again, like, I don't want to like keep throwing you guys over to our joint channel, but I also want to make sure that I'm splitting up the content well, and anything that happens with us together I want on that channel, and you know, the stuff that's just me, then that'll go on this channel. Since our honeymoon obviously happened together, that will all be on our joint channel, so you can check that out. We did a bunch of hikes. We stayed in a yurt, which if you guys don't know what a yurt is, which I realized while talking to people about our honeymoon, a lot of people don't know what a yurt is. It's like a structured tent. I'll insert a picture right here. It's like, it feels like a cabin, but the outside walls are actually just like a fabric, like a tent fabric. So you're inside because it's like insulated and like nice and clean, but you're like outside. So that's what we did. We stayed in a yurt in like the Blue Ridge Mountains area. It was so nice. We went on hikes every single day, and like we cooked in the yurt, we used the grill, we made a fire, which was not so successful, honestly. Like, we did not do a good job with the fire because we did not buy a fire starter, so we were just like trying to catch this wet wood on fire, which was like not working. All that content will be on our other channel, but our honeymoon was honestly so great. I told Josh while we were there I would come back every single year until we do every single hike in that area because I literally loved the area and I loved the little like yurt community that we stayed in. It was so cute. A lot of people were asking why we chose to do something more low-key, which I thought was kind of funny. I get what they're saying because a lot of people go like out of the country or go to like, I don't know, an island resort or whatever. One, neither of us are really beach people. We don't like love the beach, which like you could hate on me for that, but whatever. I like grew up right next to the beach, so it's not like something very special to me, even though a resort would be different. It's just, we wouldn't want to go in the water every day. Like, we just wouldn't want to be on the beach every day. So we chose the mountains over the beach. That was the first thing. And then we chose this specific yurt area because they're pet friendly, and we 100% wanted to take Tolkien, our dog, our little puppy, on our honeymoon with us. We thought it would be a cute little family vacation. So yeah, that was like one of the priorities when we were looking at honeymoon spots. We definitely wanted to take the dog with us. So that place just like made the most sense, and honestly it was perfect. Like, we could not have asked for a better honeymoon spot for us. And I get that that's like, going to a yurt in the middle of the woods isn't necessarily a conventional honeymoon choice, but I thought like we literally could not have picked something better for our two personalities. But yeah, we both love the outdoors. We wanted to like see sights we've never seen before, and like he's never seen a waterfall besides I think Niagara Falls, which is different. That's like a wonder of the world. That's like, you know, it's huge. But like just like a calm little waterfall, and like take the dog there, see if he likes the water because he was allowed to be in the water. Yeah, and just to stay active because we knew that we would have to get right back into life and move me right after the honeymoon. So we didn't want to do something too like loungy and then we get back from our honeymoon and we're like shocked by real life. So just to like stay active and, you know, do something different. The glare on my glasses is super annoying and I'm sorry about that, but I like need to see. Let's move on to becoming a Christian wife. So I am actually going to be writing a blog post all about this on me and Josh's joint blog. So when that goes live, I will post something on this channel and on our joint channel about it and just like talk a little bit about how our blog is going to work and all that. But check out our blog when that's live. But basically I'm going to be talking about, in like one of my first blog posts on that blog, the way that God changed me from being just like a normal independent woman to a Christian wife. And that's like still in progress obviously, but like the way that God has completely changed my heart and convicted me in so many ways. And like I have some friends who like right before we got married were talking to us about marriage and they were so excited for us and saying that like marriage is one of the most sanctifying things that you could experience in life, and it just like completely changes your heart on things that you were like you didn't even realize you were stubborn about. You didn't even realize that you weren't listening or obeying God in some ways. You'll like see that in your marriage. So yeah, I want to talk a little bit more about that, but that's going to happen, or like I'm going to go a little bit more in depth about that in my blog post. And if you guys want a video on that, again, leave a comment down below that you're interested in that topic and I'll definitely make something like that. I wanted to start and talk about like some of the things that we've been doing, just like how I've been slowly trying to change myself and letting God in to change me to be a godly wife and make sure that like I'm doing my part in our marriage and keeping Christ at the center of our relationship. So the first thing, the two of us are doing a Bible in a year plan. And I always wanted to do this. I've actually started it a few times and never succeeded, but like the motive behind doing it now, we actually started the day after our wedding. We wanted to start the day of the wedding, but like obviously that was, I don't know what we were thinking. But the day after the wedding, we started it. And basically my reasoning is like we're supposed to speak scripture into each other and like advise each other with scripture and, you know, be praying over each other with scripture. And just like knowing the word so that we can use God's word to be obedient to him through our marriage. And we can't do that and hold each other accountable unless we actually know the Bible and unless we actually read it. So I've never read through the whole Bible. Honestly, I didn't even ask Josh if he has. I think he's read the majority, but he's never read it like straight through. I mean, we're not reading it straight through. Our plan is like some of the Old Testament and some of the New Testament in one day. So we're not like going from Genesis to Revelations like straight. But yeah, that's why I wanted to do it. And I think one thing it's really been helping me with is discipline. Even though like I've fallen behind a little bit, honestly, I'm a few days behind still. It like helps me to keep God and keep my faith at the forefront of my mind. Like in the beginning of the day, I remember that like the first thing I want to do is like at least read part of the plan. Even if I like don't have time to read all of it, that discipline is still there, that the first thing I do in the day is like open the Bible, and that I don't want to end my day without opening the Bible. And again, some days I don't get to all of the chapters that I'm supposed to read to get through it in a year, but at least I have that, like I'm starting to have that discipline of reading every day. The second thing is being poured into by other godly women. I've been leaning on a lot of my friends who are married and just like talking to them about different things that like I'm noticing in marriage that like I didn't expect, and just talking to them about, like, you know, the normalcy or abnormalcy of whatever the topic is. And not only that, I started subscribing to a lot of Christian YouTubers and podcasts and stuff like that that talk about marriage and talk about, wow, the lighting just changed a lot, and talk about, you know, what it is to be a godly wife and, you know, how to honor your husband, how to submit to your husband, and all of that. So just listening to that daily, just listening to other people who are wiser than I am, who have been married for longer than I have, and who have, like, been through more than I have, and just, you know, learning from them and, like, actually being a sponge and listening. Like, I really want to make a video on, like, gender roles and, you know, how some typical gender roles make sense in our relationship and other ones don't, but, like, how we're still using the Bible as a guide and being obedient to what God calls us to do in the Bible when it comes to our roles in a relationship. And not only that, like, through listening to other Christian women talk about marriage, one of the most important things, or, like, the things that they bring up most often, is praying for your husband. So I've been a lot more prayerful for Josh than I have been in our entire relationship. Like, I don't think there's ever been a time, maybe, like, one time when he was going through a really hard time, but, like, other than that, like, I haven't prayed for him the way that I have in the past month. Like, I have been so aggressive at, like, trying to shower him with prayer, and, like, I'm still not the best at it. Like, I'm not the best at remembering to, and, you know, maybe I'll get there. I don't know. Honestly, that's a God thing, because God needs to remind us to pray. Like, I always ask God to remind me to pray and to be disciplined, because, like, I literally cannot do it by myself, and I will be forgetful, and I will, like, just, like, do my own thing and, like, forget, and that's so bad, but I mean, it's real, you know. So whenever I remember to, I just stop what I'm doing and I pray for our marriage, and I pray for Josh. I wanted to talk briefly about this because if you guys are truly interested, comment, please, because I don't want to get too in depth about this stuff if you're not interested in it, because, like, there's girl talk and then there's, like, TMI, and I don't want to get too TMI. But I did want to get into, like, my process of getting off birth control and why I'm doing it. I don't even think I've mentioned on this channel that I'm on birth control, but it was so normal to me that, like, I literally never thought to bring it up, and there was no reason to. Like, I wouldn't just be like, oh, I'm on birth control. Like, I don't know. But I was for, like, a very long span of time. I think it was, like, more than 5 years. I don't know. It was a long time. And I started noticing changes in my body. I started noticing, like, you know, dietary restrictions that I didn't have before, and, like, just moodiness and, like, numbness that I didn't experience before, and just, like, you know, these weird things. Like, I always knew my libido was off when I was on birth control, but I didn't really care because I wasn't married, so it didn't really impact anything. I don't know. I just want to preface by saying, like, I have my own convictions about things, and I have my own convictions about birth control and why I want to stop, which I can get into in another video, like, the process of coming to that decision. But I do want to talk about the fact that it's happening. So anyway, anyone that I've told that this is happening, like, anyone who knew I was on birth control and they asked me if I'm staying on it and I said no, they asked me if we're trying to have kids right away. And the answer is no. We're not trying to have kids today. If you ask me tomorrow, if you ask me a week from now, if you ask me a month from now, or a year from now, or whatever, my answer might be different. I'm not gonna, like, literally hold myself to something that I'm saying today at this hour, but the general answer right now is no. But if God gave us a kid, then it's his will that we have a kid, like, and he would provide for us and our kid. Yeah, that's not the intent. I'm, like, not getting off birth control so that I could, like, have babies right now. That's, like, just not. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm 24, I'm not, like, young, I'm not old, you know what I mean? Like, if I had a kid right now, it wouldn't be, like, the most shocking thing in the world, and if I didn't, it also wouldn't be the most shocking thing in the world. But I just want us to have more time in our relationship to develop and to, you know, think and pray more over how we'll be parents and the things that we want for our kid, and, you know, kind of just clean up the dirt in our lives, you know, clean up all the dirty laundry that we might have that we brought into this marriage. But again, God will make me ready when he makes me ready, and it'll be the right timing. Hold on. Are my glasses dirty? This glare is so bad. Honestly, I feel right now like we have enough responsibility just having a puppy. So that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, I don't know. But I do have like, you know, this thought process that like whether you're on birth control or you're not, or whether you're using some sort of precaution or not, you know, if you truly have faith that God controls the conception of life, then whether with your birth control or not, like if your birth control gives you like, I don't know, a 95% chance of not getting pregnant, if God wants you to get pregnant, it's a 100% chance that you'll get pregnant. If God doesn't want you to get pregnant, it's a 0% chance that you'll get pregnant. And there are ways to be disobedient through this process, and we can go into that again in a different video, but I just like truly believe that whether or not you are on some sort of, you know, pill, using any other contraceptives, like whatever it is, it's 100 or 0. That's just my thought process. And again, like there are convictions, there's God telling you things and making you feel a certain way, and like, you know, there are moments where you think you're not ready, but God knows you're ready. And there are moments where you think you're ready, but God knows you're not. So I just like think it's 100 or 0. That's just my personal thought process and my faith and the way that I choose to believe that God makes things. But again, you don't have to think the same thing. My main focus right now and the reason why I decided to get off birth control is because I want to recover my body as much as I possibly can from like synthetic hormones, and, you know, get my health in order, because I think it's hiding or like putting a band-aid on some problems that I might have that need to be fixed before I'm healthy enough to like carry a child. And I don't want that. Like, I don't want to put a band-aid on any problems or whatever. Like, I want to know where my health is at. And not only that, like, I want to get used to my cycle and what it's like. I want to get my libido back on track because it's been off for a while. And again, I could make a separate video on like what my experiences were when, like, during that time span when I was on birth control. Like, even though I didn't really realize all these things were happening, I realized it like in retrospect and watching like a ton of videos about getting off birth control, and like realizing like, oh, I relate to that symptom. I didn't even realize that was abnormal. But since I got off, these are like some of the ways that I think things have changed. Like, my mood overall is better. Like, first of all, I like have a mood, whereas before I felt like I was kind of like flat all the time, which was kind of weird. But overall, I feel like I can experience more joy and like more happiness in general, and just like daily life I'm like more content with. But I am more moody. Like, I do feel like my moods are swinging a little bit more. I have more cravings, or like my cravings are more like intense, where like I either want that or I want that and nothing else. And my appetite in general has changed. Like, things I used to really like, or, you know, things I consistently ate, I no longer want, and then now I want other things. I don't know, it's kind of weird. And so far, it's been like a few weeks, I don't have as many, at least, dietary issues. I haven't really experienced any problems since I got off, which is really good, because I consistently had dietary problems, and I was like gluten-free for a while. I like literally tried everything, and I was just like always having digestive issues. Yeah, no issues in my diet so far, which is really good. And I wonder if like birth control was causing that. I don't know, like, I guess we'll see over the course of time if like things improve. And so far, honestly, my libido hasn't changed much since I got off birth control, because I was actually sick the first week. I don't know why this happened. I actually looked it up, and it like basically said like immune system stuff. I don't know, like your immune system can struggle if it's like not consistently having like a lot of estrogen in its system or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I could talk more about that and do more research on it if you guys are interested. So leave a comment down below if you're interested in hearing more about, you know, my birth control journey and stuff like that. I hope that clears some stuff up. And the reason why I wanted to bring that up is because like I watch a lot of videos on getting off birth control and the different reasons why people were doing it. Like, some people are getting off it to have children, and some people are getting off it because they were having severe issues with it. And other people are like me, where they weren't having severe issues, but they just started realizing things were going wrong in their health, and their bodies just didn't feel like normal, and they just wanted to be normal again. They wanted to have that back. So that's the reason why I brought it up, and because it kind of goes along the lines of like marriage and stuff, because I don't think I would have thought about this if we didn't start having conversations about like when we want to have kids. And I was like, okay, should I stay on birth control for longer or whatever? And then I started having like convictions about that, and I think the reason for that is because like I do need time to get my health back in order. So like God's obviously planning something. I don't know how everything works. Like I really don't know what he sees in me that I can't see in myself. So I don't know what's going on with my body. I don't know whether it'll take long for me to like have my first period, or for me to like, you know, get back on track hormonally or whatever. But I do know that like I felt the way I felt when we talked about it for a reason. So I don't know, enjoy this journey with me, I guess. If you guys want to hear more about it, just let me know. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. I wanted to talk very quickly about what to expect on both of our channels. So we started a joint channel because I mostly just wanted to keep our joint lives separate, and also the themes for our two channels are kind of different. The things that I want to film of our relationship just do not fit on my channel, and the way that my channel is kind of organized right now is going to change a little bit. Like this channel so far has been mostly vlogs and just like random vlogs of my life and like me keeping my life together, and as much as I like making that content, and I still will make things like that, that now has a lot more to do with us jointly. Does that make sense? Like the majority of what I did to upkeep my life before, I now do to upkeep both of our lives, and we do together. So that'll be us together. Whereas on this channel, like I do the majority of the budgeting. I do want to talk about like joint finances and combining a budget and combining your income and all of that, and like how we're doing it. And I want to talk a little bit about like work and corporate life and things like that. And I just want to make this channel like, you know, more my side of the relationship, instead of trying to have us both on here talking about different things from two different perspectives, whereas like that's what our joint channel is for. So like on our joint channel, you're gonna see a lot of our relationship, like just like date nights and like things that we do to like hang out, and like DIYs that we're doing for our home, our house buying journey, which, oh god, I won't even talk about it, but our home buying process, which we're in the very beginning, and I'm already like, ugh, gosh. So yeah, that's to come on our channel. We're also going to be doing like food and like recipes that we come up with and things like that. So, and you know, what it's like to keep Christ at the center of our relationship. So it's going to be faith, food, and our family, I guess. Not in that order, but you know. And then on my channel, mine is mostly going to be like finances, keeping our finances in order, keeping our household in order, hopefully, if I could ever figure that out. And just like, you know, me growing spiritually as a wife. So yeah, mine's more, instead of faith, family, food, mine's more like faith, family, finance, I guess, if you want to call it that. But it's going to be, you know, my side of the journey, and anything that I do alone to contribute to our household. So that includes my job, that includes, you know, any of the things, responsibilities that we've said are mine, and it includes, you know, the finances, managing our finances, because I just love doing that. And I would love for you guys to join me along this journey and subscribe if you haven't, because this is stuff I'm really, really passionate about. And I think on my channel, I've spent a lot of time using this channel to kind of cope with the things that I don't enjoy doing. Like I've shown me doing laundry like 50 times on this channel. So that's not what I want this channel to be anymore. I don't want it to be me trying to motivate myself to do the things I don't want to do because I'm filming. But instead, I want it to be me filming the things that bring me joy in my life. And I want to like share with you the ways that changes. Like all of the things I used to cope with, I'm actually starting to find joy in. Not all of them, but some of them. And just like you guys growing with me and seeing, you know, how I evolve as a person and how I evolve as a now wife. which is super weird. It's still weird, y'all. Like, literally, people are like, oh, how's married life? And I'm like, honestly, I don't even know. That's such a weird question, because when people say wife or husband, I still am like, oh my god, what? It's just so weird. Like, it's so weird. And we dated for so long that, like, calling him my boyfriend or my fiance obviously still feels natural, because we were that for, like, forever. For significantly longer than I've been his wife or he's been my husband. So, yeah, still weird. I don't know. It's still fresh. But yeah, stay tuned for all of our future content that's coming out. And on our joint channel, we're gonna have our wedding video, so don't forget to check out that channel. And yeah, thank you guys for clicking on this video. I hope you enjoyed it or found some useful info in it. And yeah, comment down below if you guys have some ideas of things you want to see from my side of things, or anything you want from our joint channel. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I will see you guys next time. Bye!